Badminton's new schedule that will be unveiled from 2027 onwards, it's mixed news for India, but more so in the negative category, because the calendar may have gotten a bit of an upgrade. There is a structure to it. More matches will be televised live, but on the other hand, it's a double whammy for India, because in the new calendar, only 2 events will be given to a country. Yes, China has gotten 750, 1000, same with Malaysia, same with Europe, but India has gotten a rather raw deal. And why is that? Because as I had mentioned, from 2027, only 2 events for India per year in the new BWF calendar. Now, those events will depend upon, okay, what is the ranking of that? 1000, 750, 500, 300, 100. 100 is the least, 1000 is the super elite. Now, what are the 2 events that India are going to host per year? Well, when you look at it, India Open Super 750 and Syed Modi Super 100. Now, this is where there is the mixed news. Because, okay, despite all the criticism, despite all the hassles of infrastructure, despite all the hygiene issues, India Open Super 750 is still being touted as a 750 event that India is hosting. But Syed Modi, that was a 300 event. Now it's been downgraded to a 100 event. And now Odisha and Guwahati that were going to host the 100 events, they won't be there in the competition anymore. So that is why India losing out on Odisha and Guwahati with Syed Modi and India Open, it's represented a double whammy for the athletes. Now, why is that? It means now that India stars will have to travel abroad far often for the ranking points. Now, look at where most of the tournaments are. 750, 500, 1000. It's in China, it's in Malaysia, it's in France. It is also, Indonesia is in the same bracket as India. But even Indonesia, they at least have one major event. India has only the 750. What is going to happen now to the Indian shuttlers? Now, that is one major question that we have to look at, because according to a TOI report that was done, the Times of India report estimated that a tournament in South Asia, depending upon the period, a shuttler will have to sell out a total of 70,000 to 1 lakh, 1,20,000 for that duration of the tournament. That saves a lot of money. But if the tournament is in Europe, they have to give well over 2 lakhs. And that is just the basic. There are other expenditures also. We are going back into the 80s where funding was a major issue. And that for funds, you have to beg, borrow and steal. Which is why now India's shuttlers will have to go abroad far often. But on the other hand, tournaments in South Asia, they are almost getting culled. Now, what about the financial part? What about the sponsors? Well, Kotak Mahindra often sponsors certain athletes in certain events. Those individuals who are part of the TOPS scheme, Target Olympic Podium scheme, they will get the sponsorship, but only if they make it to the main draw. So that is why now sponsorship depends upon the performances and whether you are there in the government or top scheme. This is another issue. Now, what has gone against India? Many people will not want to buy it, but then there is a question of prestige, there is a question of controversy. It has made an impact. Whatever happened in the Super 750 event in the Badminton India Open this January, when Delhi was grappling with pollution and the Indira Gandhi Stadium was grappling with a lot of pollution, hygiene, bird droppings, all that infrastructure bid, it did hurt India's image. And on top of that, India doesn't have a clout in the BWF Council because, as always, clout, influence equals performance. India's performances have been there, but they haven't been super elite, like in the Olympics, like in the All England, like in all the other 1000 events. It's rather negligible at this point in time. So, these two things have gone against India. And that is why now, from 2027 onwards, badminton players in India will have to shell out a lot more money in order to only compete. This is what the downgrade of India's badminton has taken place. Many people will not be wanting to buy it, but now there is a serious concern over India's badminton. Can upcoming players, for example, Unnati Huda, Anmol Kar, Tanvi Sharma, all of them, can they sustain the finances? Because now badminton is going into that sport which is not going to be easy to finance. And this new calendar further adds to their woes. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.